Hey everybody, it's me, Root Beer, and today I want to peddle my conspiracy theories at you. So, we're gonna be a little bit away from DZ-BT05 reveals starting up. Right now we're in the middle of Stride set reveals. So in Japan, the Stride decks are coming out before Set 5. We're getting Set 5 first in America, or in EN, I should say. And so that gives me plenty of times to come up with all sorts of wild conspiracy theories on what might be in the set before immediately being proven wrong. So in Set 4, we got a new version of Borrow Magnus, and Bushiroad has a tendency to follow patterns, so like in Set 1, for example, we got new boss units in the form of like Androld and Villano, if I can find Stoicheia. There it is, Villano. And then in Set 2, we got things like Gryandra and Rotovisor, kind of like filling in the slots for all the decks that already got their faded ones. So like Blankmeyer and Zorga came out in Set 2, which is why Dark States and Stoicheia got new units in Set 1. And then for Set 2, because all these nations already had their faded ones, they got like new boss units, except for Keter Sanctuary, because they had a secret 7th faded one. So, extrapolating from that pattern, I am predicting that perhaps some other old boss units are going to get retrained similar to Borrow Magnus. And so the way I'm coming to my conclusion is that, Borrow Magnus got legacy support in Set 2, and then got a new piece of support in Set 4, and one card that follows that same pattern is Flagberg. He's an older unit, came out in DBT03, has kind of had like on-off support over the years, similar to Borrow Magnus, but is kind of floundering right now. He did have new support in DZ-BT02, so this one is a little more generic because it just supports tier dragons in general, but he did also have name support in the lower rarities. So all of the signs kind of put it in the same vein as Borrow Magnus, and so I think it's a very strong contender for getting like a retrained boss unit. So I did list all of my predictions on a tweet here. So for Dragon Empire, I'm thinking Eugene is going to get the new boss unit because he got support in Set 2, similar to like Flagberg and similar to Borrow Magnus. He is an older unit from Set 1, same as Borrow. He is sharing his support with Gondiva, which could make it a little iffy, but I don't think Gondiva really needs it right now. It's still doing like okay, and he did have his time in the meta being like the top deck for a little while. Like, I don't think Gondiva needs it nearly as much as Eugene. A lot of people also wanted, what's her name? Bavsagra to get support. She was an old TD boss that, like, never really quite reached any level of relevance after her first wave. She was, like, meta when she released as, like, a tier 2 deck, and then has just kind of been coasting along since. People feel like she could use a new grade 3 to, like, revamp her, although she hasn't gotten support in, like, the older sets. She did just get new cards in Set 4, so it's like, maybe, she was being played by a major character for a little while, but I don't know. I think, like, Eugene is older, could also use the help, kind of follows the same pattern as Borrow Magnus. I think Eugene makes a little bit more sense, in my opinion. So for Keter, I am saying Solaron because he was the card that got support in DZ-BT02. Now, the thing that's kind of keeping me off Solaron is that he is a bit of a newer unit, so he came out in Set 10, same time as Gondiva. That is still pretty recent. Unlike Gondiva, he never really had any stint in the meta. The deck was always just kind of okay, like, it exists, I am also leaving open the possibility of there being a 7th destined one in the same way that we had, like, Liel. So if you're following the anime, a lot of people are speculating that the main character, Akina, might have gotten possessed by the villain kind of unintentionally. He doesn't know that he's secretly helping them. So we might get some sort of evil corrupted Rezile, similar to like Dragfall Luard. I guess come back to this video if the anime catches up and I turn out to be correct somehow. In the vein of Secret 7th Destined one, Though I'm also going to put out a crack theory that like maybe Stoicheia will get one, because like in the promotional material, they made it so that like Kuon and Levidros were going to be like really important. He was kind of set up to be a rival for Akina in the promo material, and then that never really happened. You know, he played against like Suo, and his backstory is like they were childhood friends and kind of lost touch when Suo had his like trauma, so as of right now, there's nothing really setting up that rivalry with Akina yet, but if the like secret 7th destined one comes true, we might get some new Stoicheia card that's like related to Levidros in some way. I don't think they're going to make a new form because it seems a little too soon. We could also just get some like weird time shenanigans with like future Hikari, right? So like she came from the future, she had her own like fated clash at the time. People are speculating like the way Akina got possessed by the villain was like by way of future Hikari, so like the villain possessed her in the future and then time traveled back with her. So it's like maybe there is something in that like second fated clash that's going to like become relevant again. This is absolutely not me coping on them making more Liel Amorta support. So for Brantgate, I was speculating like B heroes. So again, B hero got support in set 2. They're also a bit of an older archetype. I believe they came out in set 6 if I'm remembering correctly. Yes. So, you know, unlike Solaron, which was set 10, I think set 6 has been like a decently long time away. So like they could maybe give it a new boss unit. It also featured in the anime very briefly. He's like a side character there. So there is a decent amount of evidence to support the idea of like B heroes getting a new boss unit. I don't think they necessarily need it. B hero is another deck that's like rogue meta playable, similar to Gondiva. You know, they have the tools to do pretty well, and like occasionally will pop up here and there, but never like a definitive top deck in the way you think of things like, you know, Shiranui or like Varga at the moment. Another one that I may be speculating on is a new Seraph grade 3, so, you know, the prison deck did get new support in set 2, similar to B heroes, and, you know, Seraph is in an interesting place where it was one of the original 5 TDs, and unlike all of the other ones, only has, like, the grade 4 version. She never got a new grade 3, you know, so, Nirvana has the original, the grade 4, and then Jiva. Bruce has the original grade 4 and Vehemence. Bastion has original grade 4 and Accord, and Magnolia has the original, the grade 4, and the Mask. And, you know, Seraph kinda has nothing. And, you know, people have also used this logic to maybe say, like, Bavsagra should get it, but Bavsagra does not yet have a grade 4, so she doesn't quite fit the pattern. And on the topic of grade 4s, the last one I'm kind of speculating on is Kairi. So she got support in set 1, unlike the other ones, which was set 2. However, similar to Seraph, you know, she only has, like, the grade 3 version and then, like, the grade 4. She has yet to get a second grade 3 version like all the other TDs. I think she does kind of follow the same mold as, like, Bastion and Nirvana and all those guys because, you know, she did get a grade 4, like, immediately afterwards in set 2, the same way they all got them in set 4. So it's like, she does kind of follow that pattern, but also, like, Lyrical itself, for the longest time, had its own separate booster, and it seems like every time they support those units, they're going to, like, put them in the same booster, at least as far as, like, getting new grade 3s, right? So we did get, like, Kyoka support in set 2, but Kyoka already got a new dress-up version in the Lyrical set, so it does feel like, even though a lot of the set 1 Lyrical cards could probably use some more love, it's like, they're probably not gonna make new grade 3 versions until we get a new set, and they'll just, like, batch release all 5 of them at the same time. Once again, Bushiroad kind of follows different patterns, you know? So, yeah, that's kind of my speculation from all the nations. Like, what do you think about all of the speculations? What do you think could possibly get support in set 5? Do you think me reading into Borrow Magnus makes any kind of sense? Am I just, like, crazy and peddling conspiracy theories at you, like I said at the beginning? Or is this a very plausible thing that could actually happen? Let's take bets on if next week, after maybe like the Thursday stream where they start talking about what new cards they're gonna reveal for set 5, if I'm just completely and utterly wrong and Bushiro just completely destroys me by releasing like 5 new original boss units. But for now, that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.